Hello everyone.
Hi guys.
So lovely to see you again. You'll notice we're back in our loft.
Yeah, for now.
For now, until Boris gets it in his knickers in or not. But no, listen, it's lovely to be back. And we thought that we'd speak to you about a natural perfume house. You know, we've had a discussion already, haven't we, on our last video?
Our previous one we
Some knowledge.
talked about with Sarah about all natural synthetic, and we definitely didn't want it to be all natural versus synthetic because we like all natural, and I've just bought a bottle from an all natural house, Pomare's Stolen Perfume. We're going to work through 5 samples. Joe hasn't tried them before. I got a sample set. I bought a sample set, and then I bought a bottle. Joe doesn't know which bottle I bought.
I have no idea. It's sitting there in the box, but I can't read anything or see what it is.
So, Pomare Stolen Perfume was a brand we heard about with the last Art and Olfaction Awards. We kind of had this idea that we wanted to try all of them.
It's still a good idea.
Before we realised it would be spectacularly expensive for us to buy all these samples from America. So we didn't get to try them. Anyway, she being Rachel Binder, who's the brains and nose behind the company, she won the Aftel Award for handmade perfume for Rasa. This I think is a particularly interesting all-natural perfume brand. Rachel came from the world of wine. She was a sommelier and wine director, and the world of wine really influences these fragrances and her approach to perfume, which really appealed to me.
We love a glass of wine, don't we?
Absolutely. Freakishly, when I bought this bottle of perfume, she recommended a bottle of wine, which was a bottle of wine I'd been drinking when I was spraying the sample. It was a Grüne Veltliner, which is a kind of Austrian white wine, which is kind of freakish. Anyway, she studied with Mandy Aftel, so if you know much about natural perfume, you know the perfumer and teacher Mandy Aftel. She says, as well as being obviously inspired by her teacher and other perfumers, she feels as equally inspired by winemakers and their techniques and ideologies, celebrating terroir and regional differences. All her perfumes are made in small batches. So I don't know if you can see in there, but this is a 2020 batch, and it's number 18 of 20.
Wow. You're quite lucky there.
So it's a really small batch. So I'm going to say these are. I don't think you can approach this like normal perfume.
Okay.
It's a different experience. Lots of the materials which go into this, she extracted herself. So from woods, from flowers, from fruit, she had extracted the oils to make the perfume. And I'll show you the bottle in a minute. It's kind of cloudy with the things which have gone into it. Also, as a result, if you're somebody for whom performance is a number one priority, I would stop watching. These are not big, high-performing fragrances. That doesn't bother me. I think they are beautiful enough. I mean, I've spent my own money on it. I think they are beautiful enough to warrant buying them, and I think these are very original experiences. I've not really experienced perfume like this. Shall I stop talking?
Yeah, stop talking and let me smell them.
So should we start with Rasa?
Let's go, Rasa.
Which is the one. This is the award-winning one. So I'll let you smell
Rasa. Now, do we know what that means?
Yes, it is the Sanskrit for taste, I believe. Oh
wow, that's very, very interesting.
I mean, I've had these for a while and kind of lived and warmed, but so this is from her website. She says this is the first natural passion fruit accord. So this is made from passion fruit from the local farmers market, and even on card, it's better on skin. But even on card, I've never smelt anything like that.
That is, I mean, that's fruity, but it's also really funky and animalic and
like real fruit,
cheesy.
Like it's just
rotten, slightly.
Yeah, well, I think I get a kind of fermented. It's kind of both fresh and fermented, as opposed to a lot of kind of fruity accords. They would just go for
it's not poppy.
And idealized image of a kind of fruit.
Yeah.
This feels like the real thing, like it's been sitting in like a bucket for the day.
God.
It's just
Really,
it's
really good.
it's really breathtaking. And when you smell something like this, I feel you're smelling. Do you know what I mean by it's a new experience? I've not.
Yeah. I can't relate this to perfumes that I've smelled in any particular style before. It feels as if you've dipped this into a substance of some sort that isn't perfume.
Yeah.
And I'm smelling that.
Like a compote.
Yeah.
I think the word compote will come up again.
Yeah.
In this.
Yeah, with some like lots of stewed fruits and dates, and a syrup that's slightly sweet, slightly bitter.
But and also immediately
Slightly
I'm getting
cheesy,
that association with wine, almost more so like a craft beer, like some kind of saison.
Yeah.
Like some like kind of fruity saison beer. But I mean the earthiness you're talking about from the
Punchy.
fruit, but there's also oud. So that's the other.
That's
this
what
is
I'm
basically
getting.
a passion fruit oud combination, and it's not just any oud. This is Rising Phoenix oud. This is the most expensive of the collection. This is $320 for 50 ml. The rest are $210. And it's
really good.
It is the price because of the oud.
Dusty as well.
So musky.
Sort of dusty.
Oh, dusty. Yeah,
Like
I mean,
a sort of hot dust on a lamp.
yes,
that
I
enjoy.
get this. It's earthy. It feels anchored to the earth,
Yeah.
and it feels like that passion fruit. You know, a lot of fruity notes in perfume would be bright and sparkling, whereas this feels so connected with the kind of the earthiness.
Yeah.
You're getting that connection to the notion of terroir.
It's not about sort of being sweet and pretty, and it's certainly not refreshing in the way that you might expect passion fruit to be.
Yeah.
It's like get your nose in there and smell this slightly on the turn fruit that's sort of almost like dried mushrooms are more intense.
Yeah.
This fruit is more intense from having
On
sort of stewed a little
flesh, as in whether it's on skin, the fruitiness is quite short-lived, as you can probably expect, and the majority of the experience is the oud, kind of peppered, decorated with this kind of fruitiness.
I'm a big fan of that, I have to say. But, I mean, not to get boring in terms of performance, but how does this perform in comparison to the others? Is this slightly more bold?
Yeah, I found this in terms of not in projection, but in terms of longevity, it was a little bit more substantial than the others, probably because it's the oud which was lasting on you, and it just become. I mean, again, you're getting top quality oud with facets which are earthy and rich, with slightly kind of burnt, not particularly funky. She does so. Each batch has used slightly different oud. I can't tell you which one this is, but you kind of get earthy, rich, slightly burnt.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of a Christmas cake thing going on.
Stewed, yeah. Let's move on
Really
for now.
enjoy that.
I'm just going to say, you smelt that one. That was this Rasa is not my favourite. In fact, I wouldn't put it in my top 3.
Okay. So this is promising because that's already.
So you'll know.
That's already very.
The next
enjoyable.
one is Venetian Flower. This isn't Venice, Italy. This is Venice
Beach.
Yeah, Venice, California. So this is her local area.
That's where I like to hang out on Tuesdays.
So this is, I'll read you the description for the website, a field blend of flowers, fruit from Venice, California, evoking the bohemian elegance which first exploded onto this Californian beachside community when Abbot Kinney himself sought to create a second Venice, complete with canals, gondolas, pleasure piers, and piazzas.
That's so good.
And I mean, I think more so than the other. Again, I just get this amazing kind of cocktail. It's like the best lilt ever, isn't it?
Yeah.
You so often smell fruity
beautiful.
accords in perfume, and this is just unlike. This is really wow.
I'm getting that thing that I love, which is this kind of sticker album, gummy, papery resin.
Yeah, there's a glossy,
thing.
gooey. So she's extracted.
Nectarine or something.
This is the thing she's extracted: plumeria, gardenia, tuberose, rose, picac, and Madagascan jasmine, green guava, guava leaf. Yeah, extracted between 2018 and 2020.
You know something? If I read that list of ingredients, that list of notes, rather, not ingredients, if I read that list of notes, I wouldn't buy it. I'd say, oh, that's not really my thing. And I smell it, and I think that's absolutely incredible.
I think
it just goes to show.
I think you were actually right. In this instance, normally when a perfumer gives those things, they are notes. I think these are ingredients.
I guess so. Yeah. If we're talking all naturals. Yeah.
I mean, you get this kind of fruit coulis, which is it's so fresh. It's like eating some kind of dessert with almost a kind of smoothie coulis cocktail fruitness.
Some jelly beans going on there as well.
A little bit. I mean, I get there's especially on skin, you get this kind of white floral kind of chewiness, bit of tuberose, but the main floral that I find really dominates in the middle is gardenia. And I was saying to you earlier, I've recently really got into
delightful
gardenia, and it really smells like the flower. It really smells like you're immersed, like you're just going like your head in a bush of real flowers.
This also is like starting to have little hints of bubblegum around the edges for me.
Yeah, I think that's that kind of white floral, and it's interesting. There's aspects. There's aldehydic aspects, there's bubblegummy aspects, there's things which are not natural, which you're kind of getting. I get almost like
it's interesting, isn't it?
Like a fermented quality as
the
well.
The naturals are all adding up to various accords of their own. But that's because they're so well done that the imagination is suddenly free to find things.
And I think, the fruit and the flowers are aged, so you get some of that like fermentation process happening.
A little bit medicinal as well in a way.
Hints of it,
something like Calpol or something.
Calpol, yeah.
Yeah, Calpol. Calpol, bubblegum, tuberose.
I mean...
but not sweet somehow, not sickly.
In terms of the journey, I think, what you get here on the card is a reasonable representation. It's not vastly complex or vastly kind of long-lasting. What you mostly get when you experience it is this stunning fruit cocktail with this juicy, sweet, sumptuous floral bed.
I think it's beautiful. I wouldn't want this to be much more complex because I actually like what I'm getting here so much that I would just want this to last on me for however long it lasts and give me this opening. Keep this opening going.
Completely different.
Yeah, I really like that. That's my favourite so far.
So here is Pianotina. I mean, you can see from the colour, this can be quite a different experience. So this is, wow. This is inspired by her grandfather,
big.
who she never knew, but he spent his life tuning pianos and playing jazz. That is absolutely amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I mean, that's quite breathtaking. This... it's woods and booze and like hints of smoke and
wonderful smoke.
Isn't it
I love that smokiness. It keeps it really lean and focused and energized.
So this includes extracts of redwood bark that she did herself. Isn't it? It feels enormously comforting and somehow a little bit scary at the same time.
It is scary. Thinking of other all-natural perfumes, it doesn't smell like it, but I get an association with something like Hyde from Highland Green. That smoky, dark, dangerous, brooding.
But you also can you imagine like just swilling a brandy or a rum in an old like oak-lined like jazz club as well? It feels so familiar and cozy. And
I feel like a salon, not a salon. Where cowboys sort of swing through the doors in a western. Well, dry desert air outside. Old leather boots. It's really good. It's really, really good.
It's really, really good.
And boozy without being cloying. Some things that have these kind of whiskey tones can end up being either overly smoky, which I don't like, or they go into a kind of a slightly sickly brandy, rum, boozy thing, which I don't enjoy either.
I mean, and you got this kind of
beautiful, sticky
labdanum as well going on, and just getting this lovely, gooey, sexy, ambered beautifuln's.
It's so elegant as well.
It is. It's interesting that
elegant.
This is got some things in it which could potentially be competing a little bit, whereas it feels very harmonious, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I get a sort of incense accord going on from that, that smokiness with the labdanum.
That kind of burnt. I think there is actually smoke on wood.
Yeah.
Which, has got that feeling of...
Really works. Beautiful.
There's a kind of scary woods feeling, but also there's a kind of a spiritual, peaceful feeling, as well as that comforting, familiar old.
It is very familiar. It is not in the sense of a perfume, but in the sense of a place.
Feeling.
That you've been to, somewhere that you just escape to. That brooding thing is still there. It's moody. It's kind of moody but relaxed.
Yeah. It is.
It's bloody good.
It's almost like some kind of memory which is not all happy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
there's just some little danger there, isn't there?
It's really and it's the kind of notes we're describing are in a million fragrances, aren't they?
Yeah, but I've never smelled anything like this. Wow. The piano tuner. I like that.
Right.
And also, a silly thing, but if you've ever smelled the inside of those old uprights that you see in various places, that it just...
Joe is a pianist.
I'm a pianist, that's my thing. But, you open them up sometimes and just get your nose in.
But especially
it's incredible.
Not that either of us have spent, much time performing its concert halls more than jazz clubs, but imagine if it has been a jazz club and it's a drawing in all that old cigarette and cigar smoke and the feeling of booze. And
pre-2007, where they would have been full of all these nice things. Cigar as well, cigar and booze and leather armchairs. But not with any connotations of like a conservative club in St James.
No, it's not got that kind of like gentleman's club at all.
No.
I think because I'm always drawn back to the woods, almost a feeling of kind of log cabin-iness.
Yes. A little fire going.
This is Angel's Share.
Making sweet love. Angel's Share. So we're talking some boozy.
Yeah, so Angel's Share is when booze, mostly spirits, is left to mature. Some of it evaporates from the barrel.
Yeah.
And this, the opening of this is not just boozy, it is booze.
it's you sense the alcohol in your nostrils, don't you?
I mean, it doesn't smell like a rum accord. It smells like rum.
Yeah. Milky rum.
Yeah, and ginger. Do you get ginger?
Little hints, wisps on the edges.
Is it dark and stormy that's rum and ginger beer? Is that rum and ginger beer?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've not had that.
Well, there's a cocktail like that, and I definitely get kind of rum and ginger beer, and I also I get coffee and tobacco. I get tobacco in this.
Yes, absolutely, tobacco. 110%. It shifts away from the opening quite quickly into the sort of the more darker.
Yeah, because aspects. I think on the first smell, I mean, it is just rum.
Yeah.
And I guess because it's that alcohol kind of disappears. Which isn't it nice to have that instead of having an alcohol? Sometimes with some fragrances you get the alcohol first. With the alcohol here, you do get it, but it happens to be rum.
It stings your nostrils. It's not just ethanol.
But also like coffee and tobacco swimming around in the middle. And then
really beautiful again as well, really elegant. And
a bit further on I got some kind of jasmine under this, with that kind of sweetness playing with the slight sweet facets of the rum and the tobacco. It's got
floral now.
Yeah, well that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and the thing it reminds me of in my parents' kind of garden. There's a kind of like terracey thing where they have a big kind of jasmine bush which really blooms in the summer. So kind of occasionally, like on a summer's evening, sitting there having a whiskey with my dad. I know this doesn't smell of whiskey; it smells of rum. But having that sitting next to a jasmine bush, drinking strong booze.
It's really beautiful as well.
I
have to say that if you want the whiskey, then you want the piano tuner. This is softer altogether.
I'm just going to say because the last two fragrances we just described are some of the notes they are notes you'll encounter in other things. With those kind of perfumes, those dark, heavy, boozy, woody fragrances, you would expect them to last a long time. You don't get long performance here, but you can see from our reactions, these are ones, they're much more about the initial smell. In a way, I feel these ones are good to kind of, I know you're kind of trying them for the first time. What you get straight up is largely the experience I found, personally.
I would say, I've not worn these on skin, but you have to reconcile yourself with the fact that they will last as long as they last.
Yep.
you know, if you're one of these people that needs beast mode performance in 12 hours and all that stuff, just don't go. I mean, even on the card, I can tell these are not popping off in a huge popping off. That's very American, but they don't come. They're not filling the space. They very much invite you in, which I actually really love more and more.
Last one we're trying today, Beulah. So I should say all of these, apart from Rasa was $320. The other ones are $210. Now when I bought it, the one that I bought, there was a 20% off sale.
Yeah.
So the pound's quite. So how much did it work out? Let me just write it down.
28.
It worked out. So it was $183, including delivery to the UK. That's £135.
That's very good.
For a 50ml bottle. Anyway, let's go back to Beulah. So this is the smell of summer in my grandma's yard. And we've got that overripe fruit again.
Yeah.
Haven't we? Compote. Do you get compote?
Yeah.
Compote with kind of slight cidery notes. I actually get a hint of that Grüne Veltliner in this. Because I get a kind of peachiness in...
I was going to say, there's a definite peachiness. There's a definite feeling of like a slightly classical Chypre style going on here.
Yeah, I don't quite... When I wore it on skin, there's more of a sandalwoody base to this one. We might not get that far on card. But this one has a bit of a sandalwoody base.
This feels like the most vintage to me. This feels like a very classical Chypre. This reminds me of something like the Chypre by Molinar, which I have, which it's sort of beautiful, soft-edged.
It includes Frog Hollow Farm peaches, which are extracted by the perfumer. And there is, I think, now, when I think that there are flowers going on there. I can't quite get the flowers. And I even went on skin, I was aware of there being some flowers without them quite blooming. I felt they almost got squashed by the peaches, if that makes sense. To be honest,
it's quite contained, isn't it?
This was probably the one on skin when I wore it. I enjoyed the least, and I was a bit surprised. I found the whole thing a little bit closed.
Yeah.
It didn't. It just didn't have anywhere near the kind of bloom of Venetian Flower. I mean, I guess it's going for something very different. It's not supposed to be like a beach. It's supposed to be the memory of a grandmother's garden in the summer. So you've got this kind of fruit which has maybe fallen from the tree and is slightly fermenting on the floor with some flowers in the background, and there's also this sandalwood. It's
sort of hints of things. It's very much in the it's in the air, and it doesn't open up much.
This was one, and I found
it's very beautiful. It's intriguing.
It's lovely, but I found on skin I wanted it to open up, and I felt I was a bit disappointed by this one. I wanted more. I wanted it to open up and take me somewhere that this did. So,
it's pretty. It's certainly pretty.
Which one did I buy?
Which one did you buy?
Look, I'll hold it up to the camera. You can't see it,
okay.
But if you can see how cloudy that is, it is. Can you guess what it is?
Well.
They know.
What was the second one? What was the second one we tried? Remind me.
Look at that.
That is very cloudy. My God.
I don't know if you can see the kind of sediment in that. Which one do you think I buy? Bearing in mind my taste, other fragrances I've got.
Well, what was the second one we tried? I'm thinking you would have wanted to go for a bit of gardenia. I would say Venetian Flower over the Piano Tuner, but I might be wrong. Venetian Flower, yeah.
Yeah. Venetian Flower.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, especially on a hot day today.
Yeah, I suspected it might have been
It's like spraying yourself with joy.
Yeah.
It's so
well,
uplifting.
You do that anyway.
I mean, but I just found it doesn't last a huge amount of time, but it's just unreal. I've never smelt another fragrance.
Can I sort of spray a little drop of that again? On
or do you want me to just go like this?
Can I have a little drop on there? Is that okay? Thank you, mate.
But can you imagine?
It's so beautiful. My God, it's even on skin. It's just much better.
Yeah, and I don't care. It only lasts a few hours. That's fine. I will spray it and spray it again.
Yeah, slightly cakey now as well. I'm getting a bit of lemon drizzle something. Really, really beautiful. my God.
Isn't it great?
It's such a shame that sort of this house isn't known more and more. And
Well, I think she did win an olfaction award.
but I mean, in the masses of people out there on the streets,
I don't.
this is what they need to be buying.
But this isn't for everyone. It's not high performing. You almost can't treat it like normal perfume, I would say.
Yeah, you really have to reconcile yourself, don't you? That you're not getting these nuclear beasts.
Yeah.
And actually, more and more, I'm beginning to come around to that with a lot of perfumes. I think we want things to be something that they're not, and then we don't enjoy them for what they are.
I think it's. I mean,
we don't appreciate what has gone into them.
If it's not like a conventional perfume, if it doesn't last longer, it's got to do something special. And I do think this does something special, something unique, something I've not smelt in other perfume, which is why I bought it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you've tried any of the other fragrances from Pomare's stolen perfume... Oh, I forgot to mention Pomare's, the name. She's the last queen of Tahiti.
Oh, wow.
And so stolen perfume refers to Tahiti, the island, being kind of stolen, being colonised by the French.
Ah, right.
Anyway, that was the reference. So if you have tried any of her fragrances, let us know, especially if you've had different batches. Let us know how you think they vary.
Yeah.
But lovely stuff.
And get some of this, because it's bloody good.
Until next time.
Bye.
Happy sniffing.